We are going to do some reviewing with finding a unit rate. A ratio that compares two quantities with different kinds of units is called a rate. When you found each other's pulse, you are actually finding the heart rate. So 160 beats in 2 minutes. So this is a rate, 160 beats in 2 minutes. Continuing. When a rate is simplified so that it has a denominator of 1 unit, it is called a unit rate. So if we were to take our ratio of 160 beats in 2 minutes and find the unit rate, we reduce that down to have 80 beats per 1 minute. So since the denominator has a 1, that means that this is a unit rate. Let's practice this idea. Find each unit rate, round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So letter A is $300 for 6 hours. $300 for 6 hours. So I just took my information and I wrote it as a ratio. This time I'm going to take it and I'm going to rewrite it to where it only has my numerical values. 300 divided by 6. Well, I want to reduce this down so I have a unit rate, which means I have a 1 in the denominator. In order to get from 6 to 1, I need to divide the denominator by 6. Whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So that means I have to do 300 divided by 6. You can use a calculator or you can show your work to the side. 300 divided by 6. 6 cannot go into 3, but 6 can go into 35 times. 6 times 5 is 30. And 0, 0. And bring down the 0. 6 can go into 0, 0 times. Subtract 0. Well, that means that my answer is going to be 50. So this means that my unit rate is $50 per hour. Let's try letter B. We have 220 miles on 8 gallons. 220 miles. I'm sorry, labeling this letter B. 220 miles on 8 gallons. So just like I did with letter A, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to write my numbers. 220 divided by 8. I want to have a denominator of a 1 to find it as a unit rate. As a reminder, a unit rate has a denominator of a 1. So when I take 220 divided by 8, that gives me 27 and 5/10. So this means that 27 and 5/10 miles per gallon. That's my answer. I'm going to go back to letter A and I'm going to box that as well. Continuing with letter C. Find the unit price if a 4-pack of mixed fruit sells for $2.12. Unit price is the same thing as saying unit rate. So if it's $2.12 for a 4-pack, I want to know how much it is for a 1-pack. So I'm going to rewrite my ratio with just the numbers. And then I'm going to figure out where I have the denominator of a 1. So to get from 4 to 1, I divide by 4. Whatever I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. 212 divided by 4. Sorry, $2.12 divided by 4. Well, in case I don't have a calculator, I'm going to show this math. 4 goes into 2, 0 times. 4 goes into 21, 5 times. So I'm going to subtract 20. I'm left with 1, bring down the 2. 4 goes into 12 3 times. And that leaves me with 0. So that means I have 53 hundredths. So I'm going to erase the work off to the side on the right so I can write my answer. So this means that it is 53 cents per 1 pack of mixed fruit. Letter D. Tito wants to buy some peanut butter to donate to the local food pantry. Tito wants to buy as much peanut butter as possible. Which brand should he buy? There are 4: Nutty, Grandma's, Bees, and Save-A-Lot. So we need to find the unit price of each of these to know which one is the best buy. So I'm going to label each of them. Nutty, Grandma's, Bees, and Save-A-Lot. So starting off with Nutty's, it is $2.19 for 12 ounces. I'm going to take out my labels, which gives me $2.19 to 12. So I want to know for 1, divide the denominator and the numerator by 12. And this gives me the answer of rounded to the nearest hundredth, 18 cents. So then I'm going to take Grandma's. $2.79 for 18 ounces. Just like before, I'm going to take it out and just have it with my numbers. 279 divided by 18. The reason I'm dividing by 18 is because to get my unit rate, I need to divide my denominator and numerator by 18, which gives me the answer of, round to the nearest hundredth, 16 hundredths. So that's equivalent to 16 cents. So far, Grandma's is cheaper than Nutty. So let's try Bees. $4.69 for 28 ounces. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to rewrite this to where it's just my numbers. 469 divided by 28. In order to get my unit rate, I have to divide my denominator and numerator by 28. 469 divided by 28 gives me, rounded to the nearest hundredth, 17 hundredths, which is 17 cents. So far, Grandma's is still the cheapest. Next, I'm going to try Save-A-Lot. It is $6.60 for 40 ounces. That's a lot of ounces of peanut butter. So I'm going to rewrite this to have just my values, 660 divided by 40. I want a denominator of 1, so I'm going to divide the denominator by 40, which I'll do the same thing to the numerator. 660 divided by 40, rounded to the nearest hundredth, which is the nearest penny, is 17 hundredths. So in this case, it's going to be 17 cents per ounce. So all of these, I should say, is per ounce. So out of all of them, Grandma's is the cheapest because it sells for 16 cents per ounce. All right, let's try some more problems. Let's try number 1. Find each unit rate, round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So I'm going to set up my ratio because it says 360 miles in 6 hours. It's 360 divided by 6. I want to have a denominator of a 1 because it says unit rate. So that means I need to divide the denominator by 6. I need to divide the numerator by 6. 360 divided by 6 gives me 60. Let's try number 5 now. Estimate the unit rate if 12 pairs of socks sell for $5.79. We want to find the unit rate. So if it costs $5.79 for 12 pairs of socks, I want to know what 1 pair of socks equals. So I'm going to divide the denominator by 12, divide the numerator by 12, and that gives me the answer of 0 and 48 hundredths. Again, I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth, so the second decimal place, because it's going to be an answer of money. So 48 hundredths is approximately 50 hundredths. So this is about 50 cents per pair. Let's take a look at number 7. Ben can type 153 words in 3 minutes. At this rate, how many words can he type in 10 minutes? 153 in 3 minutes. Well, I want to put my 10 in the same location as my other minutes. 3 minutes is in the denominator, so I want to put 10 minutes into the denominator. So now I'm going to actually get rid of that label of minutes. In order to get from 3 to 10, it's not going into that evenly, so I'm actually going to take 10 divided by 3 to figure out what value I'll be multiplying by. So if I take 10 divided by 3, that is approximately 3 1/3. So 3 1/3 times 3 is 10. So I'm going to take 153 multiplied by 3 1/3, which gives me 509 9/10 repeating. So I'm going to round that up and say it's 510 words in that 10-minute period.